7 drivers have already won a race this season, locking themselves into the chase for the Stop Motion Cup Series Championship. For everybody else in the field, though, this will be their final opportunity. Welcome back to the Stop Motion Cup Series. Tonight will be our regular season finale. As aforementioned, we already have 7 spots locked in, and we still have basically 12 drivers who could still technically point their way into the playoffs here. We see here your drivers who are a little more likely to get past. We see drivers like Matt Kenseth and Jeff Gordon especially have a very nice buffer, but something could happen to either of them and knock them out. And down here towards the bowl, we see Kyle Larson is our final driver in as we speak, plus 8 over the cut line over Austin Dillon, and then Martin Truex Jr. and Kurt Busch, who are both 12 points out of the playoffs as we speak right now. We'll be getting down into some real short track beating and banging today. Here are ones to watch. Sam Hornish Jr. is your pole seater. He's also 20th in points, and yet a certain amount out, so he must win to get in. Jimmy Johnson won the last race in the series at Watkins Glen. Kyle Larson is currently the last driver in on points, so he'll have to make sure he does really well today. Especially will need to be doing well are the 41 and 78. They'll have to have a whole lot of things go their way today to have even a chance of advancing. Here we go now, the cars are rolling off. Here's the starting lineup. On row 1 we have Sam Hornish Jr. and Paul Menard. Row 2 we have David Reagan and Joey Logano. Row 3 we have Matt Kenseth and Brad Keselowski. Row 4 Clint Bowyer, Kyle Busch. Row 5, Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jimmy Johnson. Row 6, Carl Edwards and Kurt Busch. Row 7, Casey Kane and JJ Yaley. Row 8, Eric Almirola and Ryan Newman. Row 9, Kevin Harvick and Ty Dillon. Row 10, Cole Witt, Trevor Bayne. Row 11, Kyle Larson and Justin Allgaier. Row 12, Alex Bowman and Jeff Gordon. Row 13, Austin Dillon and Michael Annett. Row 14, Denny Hamlin and Danica Patrick. Row 15, Ryan Blaney and Martin Truex Jr. Row 16, Casey Mears and Jamie McMurray. Row 17, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Greg Biffle. Row 18, Brett Moffitt and AJ Allmendinger. Row 19, Tony Stewart and David Golan. Row 20, Bobby Labonte and Matt Benedetto. And your DNQs for today are Michael McDowell, Landon Castle, and Jeb Burton. Here are your keys to the race today. It's the regular season finale. We only have 18 laps in today's race. And like I said earlier, 12 drivers effectively going for 9 spots. Unless we get an unexpected winner. Here we go. Green flag is out. At the end of this race, we'll have the answers we're looking for. As we see, Sam Hornish Jr. has established a firm lead over Joey Logano now as Paul Menard is dropping way back down the middle. See, Joey Logano is going to try to make a pass now on Hornish. Going to the inside, that's the dominant lane here. Especially in the corners, that is. We see Joey Logano has managed to make a clean pass on Sam Hornish Jr. and will lead lap 2. We see Brad Keselowski and Clint Bowyer also trying to get around Sam Hornish Jr. Joey Logano is still leading half a car length over them. We see now, oof! There's a crash on the front stretch. Last week's winner, Jimmy Johnson. Chase contender, Matt Kenseth. This could be what we thought might be almost impossible. This could potentially knock Matt Kenseth out. Let's look at the replay of this incident. Looks like one of the 2 drivers just tried to get up into the other driver's lane. Let's see who it was. Looks like Jimmy Johnson more drifted into the lane of Matt Kenseth, getting Kenseth loose and then sending them into the grass right across the front stretch. Lucky for Jimmy Johnson, he won last week. Matt Kenseth does not have such protection. And he did not have an entire race's lead over the cut line. So this could eliminate him from the playoffs. Here the choose roll for today for this first caution. We see further back in the field, the decision is mostly based off of who went where before you. Here's this week's sponsor, California Cup Series, newly rebranded. Their link will be in the description. Alright, once again, ready to get going once again in this race. Green flag is out once more. Let's see if some of those drivers along the cut line can capitalize off this most recent wreck. We see Joey Logano once again managing to get off to a lead. Sam Hornish Jr. continuing to drop back. We see Clint Bowyer now going to try to make a pass on the inside of Joey Logano. Kyle Busch is going to try to come along with him. It looks like nope, actually drops in the line on the back stretch. We see Clint Bowyer has managed to make the pass on Joey Logano. He will lead that lap. See now Kyle Busch is charging on the inside. Maybe he'll try to make a pass on Clint Bowyer. Nope, not in this corner. Here we go now, lap 9, almost halfway done with this race. Kurt Busch is already making his way up into the top 5. This could be the very race he needed to make it into the playoffs. We see Kyle Busch now manages to make that pass on Clint Bowyer. They're already lapping some of the drivers in the back of the field. As we see now, crash in the front stretch. Austin Dillon, another driver who needed a good race to make it into the playoffs, has hit the wall. The caution is out. I think we may have just witnessed some tactical elimination on the part of Kyle Larson. It looks like he just got into the back end of Austin Dillon and took him out. Well, this one's going to be subject to some NASCAR investigation after this race. Maybe some crew chief suspensions or something. You see, Austin Dillon is also now not going to have a chance at the playoffs. Tough break for that team, but they still have at least Ryan Newman in there with his Austin 500 win. Here we go, once again, choose roll. Not surprising, Kyle Busch chooses the inside. We see the Busch brothers will be lining up in the top 3 on the restart. It'll be interesting to see what Kurt Busch does with Kyle. We know that, as we already have documented, Kurt Busch at the start of this race needed to make up a lot of points to make the playoffs. Here we go, lap 12, green flag is out again. We see the inside line prevails as always on the restart. See Jeff Gordon making a pass on Brad Keselowski. Kurt Busch up to second over Clint Bowyer. And we are now on board with Kyle Busch. We see Kurt Busch is going to try to make a pass on his brother. Lap 14, here we go. Flat tire on Cole Witt, and he spins out. Oof! He hits the wall going into the pit road. He's going to make some nasty damage on the track on his car. That was a hard lick he just took there. You see lots of damage on that car. Luckily no one on pit road was injured in that incident. Right on the tire wheel too. That car will by no means be salvageable. His race is definitely done. So we will now have our 4th DNF of the race. It looks like he just got loose trying to get onto pit road with that tire down. Not much room there in that apron. Didn't really have anywhere to go there. Luckily for the other drivers, he didn't come out on the track. So we had the free pass going to Bobby Labonte. Now only 2 drivers are a lap down. So you see Kurt Busch with the lead now. Strangely enough, Joey Logano choosing the inside line. That's going to give Jeff Gordon a lot of positions. Joey Logano might just have given up his chance at a victory right there with the questionable choose roll call. So we see now we have our race highlights here. We had our wreck involving Matt Kenseth and Jimmy Johnson. On lap 4, lap 10, we had Austin Dillon getting knocked into the wall by Kyle Larson. And just now, Cole Witt crashed trying to get onto pit road. Alright, here we go. Green flag is out. 3 laps left in the race. Who will take it? Who will make it? Who will be eliminated from contention for a championship? We see Jeff Gordon now trying to get past on the inside of Kyle Busch. Gonna be side by side. This will allow Kurt Busch to potentially pull away from them. No, he does not. Jeff Gordon passes Kyle Busch, and it looks like he's going to try and make a pass here on Kurt Busch on the inside. The white flag is out. 1 to go here. We see side by side going down the backstretch. Kurt Busch may or may not have to win this race. In order to get in, it's going to be Jeff Gordon winning. A final lap pass for the win. Jeff Gordon is your winner at Richmond. Here's your replay of the finish. As we see, Jeff Gordon started that trying to get past Kurt Busch on lap 17. Having the inside line was all he needed to get that win over Kurt Busch by half a car length. Only a few tenths of a second. Here is your playoff cut line after the race. And Ryan Blaney and Kyle Larson will make it over 1 point over Martin Truex Jr. and 3 points over Matt Kenseth. Matt Kenseth is indeed eliminated. That was your playoff career there. Here's your official results. Jeff Gordon, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch are your top 3. Further back in the field, 20th place is all Ryan Blaney needed to make these playoffs. 1 more spot lost, though he might not have made it. 39th place, Matt Kenseth wrecked out of this race. That was all it took. A fantastic season suddenly went down the drain just like that. Here are your playoff standings. Drivers 1 through 8 have already won a race this season. You see the other 8 drivers are down at 2,000 points each, as they have not won it this season. Here are your point standings for the rest of the drivers. Martin Truex Jr., Matt Kenseth, Casey Keenan, and Paul Menard are your top 20 now. Tough break for all those drivers here, as they will not have a chance at a championship, although further back here, it's not like we were exactly expecting that anyways. We see Matt DiBenedetto is also currently our rookie points leader over Brett Moffitt. Once again, congratulations to Jeff Gordon and his sponsors on winning today's race, as well as everybody who made the playoffs. Our next race will be at Dover to start off the playoffs. If you liked what you saw today, please feel free to subscribe to the channel or like the video, or even just comment and say you enjoyed this race. Honestly, any positive feedback would help. Have a great day, everybody. Come back soon.